Hello there. Thanks for joining me today. This is going to be a gentle flow and it's going to be great for the low back. We're actually going to start this one on our backs. If you want to grab a strap, go ahead and grab one of those, and maybe a block or a thin bolster would be appropriate here. So go ahead and meet me on your back. You can have your knees propped up, feet on the mat. Let's go ahead and bring the hands either to your thighs here, maybe your belly, or you can just let them hang out beside of you. Choice is yours here. Just going to take a few moments to connect with ourselves. Allow us to ground into our mats, ground into our space here. On your next inhale, you're going to hug that right knee into the chest here. If you want, you can leave the left leg where it is, or you can slide it out. And just continuing to kind of make pulsing motions with this leg. So really hugging it in tight, and then releasing a little bit, and then hugging it back in. When you're ready, we can go to straighten that leg. Interlacing the hands behind the leg, or you can put your strap around, whichever works good for you here. And once again, we're going to flex that foot towards our face. And we're going to just pulse here a few times. And on that last pulse, let's hold it here. Nice bend in the knee is beautiful. Making sure you're flexing that foot towards your face. Beautiful. We can go ahead and take this foot to the outer edge so you can have your strap, or you can just bring your hand to your thigh or your calf and pull it over towards the right here. Continuing to flex that foot towards your face. And like I said, a soft bend in this knee is going to help you get a little deeper into the stretch. Beautiful. Slowly, we're going to release that leg, and you can either bring your foot to the mat or you can send it out long while we go ahead and pull the left knee in. Same actions over here. So we're pulsing this knee into the chest. And on the last pulse, we'll hug it in, continuing to breathe. Beautiful. Go ahead and bring it to semi-straight. Flex the foot towards the face. And then we can come back to the nice little pulses here. And let's go ahead and pull in and hold. And go ahead and take it over to the side. It might help to bring that right hand to that right thigh, just keeping it down. Continuing that flex of the foot towards the face. And of course, that slight bend in the knee. And slowly coming back. We're going to come in for a gentle bridge, so bringing both feet to the mat. And then we're going to try to feel those heels. If you can't feel them, just scoot your booty towards those feet. And on the next inhale, we'll engage the glutes and the thighs to lift us up here. Coming back to the breath. I'll take one more round here. And slowly lower him back to the mat. And let's take that windshield wiper right over to the left, back over to the right, and one more time to the left. Beautiful. Go ahead and hug both the knees into the chest, leaving the head on the mat, taking those pulses here. When you pull up, maybe you feel your tailbone lift. That's okay. And when it feels good, you can wrap your arms, bringing the head up. Nice little ball. I'm going to rock and roll into an all fours. If you don't want to rock and roll, of course, you can just come into all fours. Once we get here, making sure that we are stacked. Shoulders over wrist, hips over knees, gaze in between the thumbs, gripping through the mat here. Tucking that tailbone, neutral spine. I'm going to take some slow cat-cow, so go ahead and take the gaze up. We're going to inhale and exhale here. Really spreading through the sits bones, noticing this pose. Pulling the chest through, lifting the gaze, really arcing through the back. Slowly from the tailbone, we'll curl it, taking the gaze all the way to the back of the feet, really pushing through the shoulders, a big round through the spine. And back down, gaze comes up. And one more time, around through the spine, gaze goes back. Full round of breath. Slowly coming back to that neutral spine, we're going to thread the needle. So go ahead and inhale that right arm up. And thread it through the left side, coming to that outer right shoulder. Left hand can stay where it is, or you can take it up and overhead. You could also try to find that right thigh. Choice is yours here. We're going to be here for 3 rounds of breath. Slowly unraveling, bringing that left hand back to the mat. Right hand goes up. Go ahead and twirl that wrist one way and the other way. And release it back down to the mat. Beautiful. Left arm sweeps up. Thread it through this right side, coming onto that left outer shoulder. Right hand can stay where it is, or we can take it up and overhead, or try to find that left thigh. Choice is yours. 3 breaths. Slowly bringing that right hand back down to the mat. Lifting left arm all the way up, taking the roll of the wrist one way and the other way. Beautiful. Release it back down to the mat. Go ahead and tuck those toes and the hips up, coming in through a plank. Take the gaze forward, and we're going to step forward into our forward fold. Nice bend in the knees. We're trying to get into the low back, not the legs. So bend those knees, trying to get the belly to touch the thighs here. Grabbing opposite elbows. Just find that nice, gentle sway left to right. Take one more round of breath here in our ragdoll. Next inhale will bring us up halfway left. Weights in the feet or the toes. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we're going to peel all the way up to standing. And take the arms up and overhead. Catch that right wrist, pull it over to the left gently. Inhale back to center, grab left wrist, pull it over towards the right. Back to center, go and bring the arms down. We're going to take some knocking on heaven's door. Low back loves this. So we're just going to start with a nice gentle sway. So we're going from the right to the left. Just a few times before we start the more exaggerant version. Maybe starting to add a nice little bend into the knees when you reach the side. And maybe taking it all the way with the arms, slowly tapping the hips. I'm just going to do this for about 7 rounds of breath. I haven't told the story in a while, but when I first started yoga, my only aim was to move my body for 15 to 20 minutes every day. I do not like to work out. I don't like repetitions. So I picked yoga. And I'll never forget the first morning, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. It's still dark. My whole family is asleep. And I started with yoga with Adrian. And needless to say, I was doing this. I was getting into it. I was really deep. And the next day I was so sore. And I'm like, that's how out of shape you are, Stephanie, when this is making you sore. But I found that this is such a good workout, not only for my low back, but even the shoulders. Like we're having to bring the shoulders out. We're kind of making these mini squats. So it's a full body workout. I'm done talking. We're going to bring the hands down by the sides to Dasana. Let's feel that energy pulsing. Mainly, you're probably feeling this in your hands. Notice the tingle. Offer a little smile, knowing that that's fun and beneficial. Noticing sensation. Beautiful job, my friends. Let's go take the arms up. We're going to slice through the sky, forward fold. Half lift. Plant the hands and step the feet back. Lower down the knees and then the chest and the chin. We're going to pause here. Feel into that low. Slowly rolling into our cobra. And we're going to push back into a downward facing dog slowly. First down dog, big bend in the knees is welcome. Go ahead and take just a few petals of the feet. Pushing equally through both of the shoulders. When it feels good, we're going to take that right leg up, three-leg dog. Come up onto the tiptoes of that left foot. Roll it forward, maybe kiss that knee before we step it in between the hands. Lower down that back knee. And on your next inhale, we'll come up. Low lunge, arms up and overhead. Send the hips forward. Come out of it a little bit and send them forward again. Finding just a little bit of a pulse here. Gently bring the hands to the mat. We're going to push back, calf splits. So digging the right heel down, slight bend in that knee, squaring off the hips, gazes forward. And let's pulse here. Just gentle, going with the breath here. Nice. We're going to roll back onto that foot. We're going to come into pigeon, so heel toe this foot all the way to the outer left edge. Keeping that foot active. Left foot and leg are straight behind us. Go ahead and sit up nice and tall at first, feeling that arch in the low back. And if it feels good, you can walk your hands. If you want to put your bolster or block under that right hip, be my guest. We're just going to come down and be here for 7 rounds of breath. One more round of breath here. Gently peeling ourselves back up. Hands plant. Tuck the left toe. Send the right leg back. Downward dog. If you want to take a child's pose, go ahead and take that now. We're going to be here for 3 rounds of breath. Beautiful. If you're in child's pose, go and come back into our downward dog. Inhale that left leg up, 3-leg dog. Up onto the tiptoes of that right foot, maybe kissing the left knee before we step it in between the hands. Lower down that back knee. Next inhale will bring us up, arms up and overhead. Coming back into those pulses, using the breath to get deeper into the hips here. Beautiful. Hands gently come to the mat. Push it back, half splits, digging left heel into the mat. Nice little bend in that left leg, squaring the hips, gazes forward, and maybe finding those pulses again right here. Beautiful. Slowly coming back onto that left foot. Heel toeing it all the way over to the right, coming in for pigeon on this side. Active left foot. Right leg and foot are straight behind us. Go ahead and sit up nice and tall at first. And then slowly you can come down. If you want to put that bolster or block under that left hip, please be my guest. And we'll come here for 7 rounds of breath. Slowly and gently peeling up here, planting the hands, sending the leg back to meet the right. We can take a vinyasa or you can take child's pose, and you can do knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, up dog. Either way, we will all meet back in child's pose. We'll take one more round of breath here. We're slowly just going to peel ourselves up. Go ahead and mermaid those legs to the side. Send them out long. We're going to slowly lower to our bellies. It's just kind of this like, how slow can you go motion. We're just going to do some gentle core work, and this is one of those. So just coming to that point where you're like, okay, I can't hold this anymore. Coming up a little more. So we can hold this for maybe 3 rounds of breath. Maybe dropping a little lower. Last round of breath, maybe dropping a little lower. Smiling. And all the way onto the back. So like I said, we're just going to do some gentle core work. So bringing those feet to the mat, knees are pointed up. We're going to lift up through the upper body. Arms can be palms facing up. We're just going to shift from one side to the other. We'll just do this 20 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Release. Go ahead and take the legs up and overhead, or up. Yep, just up. Pointed. You can take your hands under your booty. We're going to lower the legs one at a time and lift them. So right leg lowers. and lift. Left leg lowers and lift. Right lowers, lift. Left lowers, lift. Right lowers, lift, left, and lift. And one more time, right and left. Hug the knees in. We're going to come into our happy baby here. So either pulling on the legs, the ankles, or the outer edges of the feet. Just making sure your hips are on the mat and your shoulder blades are also on the mat here. Coming back to that breath. Gently release the feet, hug the knees in. We're going to take a reclined twist. So arms can be in a T or a cactus. Allow the legs to drop over to the right. Take the gaze towards the left. Maybe bring right hand to left knee. We'll just be here for 5 rounds of breath. Slowly back to center. Allow the legs to drop over towards the left. Gaze goes towards the right. Maybe bring a left hand to right knee. 5 breaths. Slowly back to center. Hug those knees. You can either come into a Shavasana or you can meet me in a comfy seat, whichever you prefer. I'm just going to hang out here for a moment, noticing the sensations, allowing the breath to come back to its natural ebb and flow here. Maybe take in some 4-part breath or box breathing. You could also do alternate nostril breathing. Either one of those would be great to end the practice. Or just come with me into a slight meditation. If you're in Shavasana, we'll slowly go ahead and meet in a seat. No hurry, no rush. We'll slowly bring our hands to heart center. Our words of encouragement today come from Steve Maraboli. He is a veteran. Thank you for your service, sir. Philanthropist, and he does a lot of speaking. And one of the things that he likes to say is happiness is not the absence of problems, it's the ability to deal with them. Our perception is everything. I challenge you today to stop looking at things as problems and just find your ability to deal with them in a happy manner. And maybe, just maybe, you'll feel a little bit happier. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you so very much, and I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that your low back feels mucho bueno. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you back on the mat.